To give you our initial thoughts on Doomsday Clock #1. We were honored enough to get a copy early, and we really do appreciate that. But yeah, with that being said, this is a very non-spoiler review because this is coming out 2 days before the book actually does come out. So obviously we don't want to spoil anything for people who haven't read it, and we want you to go in clean and fresh. But we are just here to let you know how we felt after reading it. But yeah, both of us are going to give our solo initial thoughts, and then we're going to come back together with our closing thoughts and discussion on it as well. But how you doing, Alan?
I'm doing good.
Cool. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Overall, I was so entertained by this. This was so good. I think the writing was very well. It definitely felt like a natural progression from the actual Watchmen series. They definitely found a way to kind of tie it into the DC side. I got to catch up with some characters that I kind of wondered what happened to them. Got a couple answers here and there. The art was very good. Definitely had that classic Watchmen feel. There was tons of surprises. There was quite a few very, very shocking surprises and possible turn of events for this series.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, for me, I thought it captured that Watchmen poetic vibe. I believed that we actually needed some sort of new god to save the situation with how, again, it's essentially doomsday coming, and they don't beat around the bush with that. I felt that the tension was there between certain characters and all felt real. I'll be interested to see how this all ties in with the DC and the Watchmen verse, how they mold them together. There's enough to make me want to stick around to follow these characters. There were plenty of twists that I didn't see coming, that were shocking. I was left confused by the end and wanting more. And I'm wondering at the same time how they're going to capture that DC feel of a comic book versus a Watchmen feel, and if this is going to be straight up, I should say, just all out Watchmen feel. What else? It even felt dirty at times, laughing at some of the jokes because of the overall tone. And what more can I say about the art? I thought it was very fitting, and a lot of detail, and I had a lot of fun with it.
I've been waiting a little bit over a year now to actually get to this point with the whole rebirth thing.
Right.
And definitely been excited since the button. The button really was the prelude to this and the setup for this. I have to admit, though, after reading it, I was not disappointed. I was actually pleasantly surprised. Had a lot of twists and turns in it. It definitely left me scratching my head / thirsting for more when I got to the end of it. So I think it accomplished what it set out, what it needed to do with the first issue, especially if this is going to be a 12-issue series. The first one really has to grab you and draw you in, and they definitely did that with this.
Understandable, yeah. I do hope it's not the start that I did expect, just because it has been over a year with even now the button, and even I know some of it was bleeding into action comics as well with the Ozymandias stuff. So yeah, we'll definitely see. But I do hope it kind of it kind of just takes off from here and it really rock and rolls. I really don't want that slow burn side of it. That's with my initial thoughts. I was saying how I wonder how they're going to balance the overall DC feel compared to the Watchmen feel. But yeah, I mean, I just hope that there is a high octane after this, because this is what we've each been, everyone obviously, and if you're listening to this, you've been waiting for this for quite some time. So I do hope that it picks up right after this issue, because I thought it was a mild start for me personally. But yeah, and it's not what I expected either. And that doesn't take away from my appreciation of what I got out of it. But yeah, it was unexpected, but there was enough there to keep me around, honestly.
I don't know what to say. Kind of surprised. I thought that it might have grabbed you a little bit more. Did you really read the original Watchmen series at all?
Yeah, I've read it.
Okay. I mean, I know you've read it, but I mean,
not recently.
There's reading it, and then there's reading it. I mean, yeah. I can respect your view on that. For me, I think I the main thing that I wanted going into this, which is what I think it accomplished with the first issue, was since we're going back to the Watchmen universe, I wanted it to feel like a natural progression from where we left in the Watchmen series. And
Hmm.
for me, I think they accomplished that. I think that's a major chunk of what made me enjoy this. Was I felt like I was right back in familiar territory.
Yeah, definitely familiar territory. I'm still wondering because obviously we're not as readers we don't know how these two worlds are supposed to merge, and
Yeah,
that's what I'm still. It has me reeled in to figure out how they really do combine all this together. But yeah, I mean, no matter if you want it or not, they're going to bring it into the fold. But just hopefully the explanation hopefully pays off. Hopefully it pays off, and it all really makes sense for especially all those continuity kids out there. Because I know, I mean, a lot of people are on the fence if they want Watchmen in this DC universe. I'm personally, I don't necessarily care. Not that I don't want it, but if they're going to merge it, I guess it's just hopefully there's a point to merging it opposed to just merging it. You know what I mean? For property's sake.
yeah. I think we're definitely on the same page there. I am super curious as to how they're going to make this fit as far as like feel. I would love for this to be a seamless fit, and you go by the end of this, you're like, oh yeah, it makes sense. It feels natural. They found a way to blend the two tones because it is two totally different tones that we're
Yeah.
dealing with.
Yep.
I think that's part of why we had me discussing something off the air that we're not going to discuss here. I think that's part of why we had the issue about the one part was just because it was totally out of nowhere. Um, but
There's a
I'm on
lot
the
to,
fence.
and there's a lot when you. I mean, I think when people read that, there's a lot to take away from this. I've read it
Oh
probably
yeah,
3 times now. Again, and there's some Easter eggs in there as well. Again,
some,
you
some.
you are thrown back into the Watchmen universe with this issue, hands down. It definitely doesn't have the DC feel to me personally, but I think I mean I'm excited. I am excited, but I just wasn't. This wasn't the start that I expected. That's all. I just wanted it to be a little bit bigger. I wanted it to kick into gear right away. But I do respect that they are. This issue does set up certain plots
Yeah,
that I'm
yeah.
that I'm curious about. Again, there are twists. They there are twists. So
And it's funny because I'm one of those people who I'm on the fence as to whether I even wanted this in the first place, as
mhm.
far as the Watchmen possibly joining the DC universe. I think that if it's done well, and as of right now, they haven't totally failed. But
And
if it's done
they
well,
haven't shown
I
us
think
anything
bring it on.
either.
Hmm?
So they haven't shown us anything either. So we'll
No, they really haven't. They
definitely
have not.
yeah.
I think they this is something they realize they got to ease into. They can't
But
just drop it on us. They got to.
they answer a lot of questions, or they answer not a lot. They answer one question I think a lot of people had an issue with. That is answered.
Yeah,
That is answered.
yes, it is. It is answered. Now
uh,
the answer may raise a slight more questions, but yet and
oh,
still you get that question answered though.
I wouldn't take it any less. Any other way, I mean. But cool, yeah. With that being said, let's go ahead again. Make sure you go pick this up, especially if you are a DC fan, Watchmen fan. You've been wanting this for a while. Obviously, you're gonna go be picking this up because maybe you just want to hear our thoughts before you go pick it up. Yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out. But we are going. Let's go ahead and give our score. I'm a little scared to hear Alan's score, but take it away, Alan. What's your score on this?
Wow, I don't know why you're scared to hear my score. Um, Honestly, when I first read it, I have to admit I wanted to just go off the charts and just give this a super high colossal score.
I know you did.
That was first instinct, like just reading it and just putting it down. Initially, that's exactly what my gut instinct was. After going through it a little bit more, discussing it with you a little bit, I'm not gonna go quite as high. I think that this was a very strong start for the series. This is 12 issues, and the first issue needs to have some strength to it. And this did its job of bringing me back into the universe. Let me know exactly about how long it's been since the last time we've seen the Watchmen universe. It answered some questions for me. It raised some questions for me, and it definitely left me with a cliffhanger that not only had me scratching my head, but had me anticipating an answer or a piece of an answer in the next issue. So for that reason, I am going to go 9. You give it a 9. It was solid enough to me. This is one of those instances where I feel like it was a strong start. I don't want to just give it a 10 off the jump because we still got a whole lot more series to go.
If you look at Comic Book Roundup right now, it is 10 galore.
Dude, no, you gotta listen, people. You have to look when you know it's a series, a extended series. You gotta look
Can't
ahead.
blow your load right away.
You can't blow it right away because guess what? That number 1 might be a 10, but number 2 could be a 3.
Yep. I don't think I can't see this series. IVX. I'm sorry. Yeah. I can't see this series going to a 3. But with that being said, I'm going to give it an 8. A solid 8. It didn't have that as... I think we're on the opposite sides of the fence as far as strength goes. I thought it had less strength. But there was at least enough there to want you to come back. But yeah, art was great, I thought. But yeah, for first issue, I'm going to give it an 8.
Okay, that's still, you know what, compared to the way that we were talking off air, I kind of expected you to go lower than that. That's actually a very strong score, and that's bravo. I respect your 8, respectfully.
Bada bing, bada boom. With that being said, again, thanks everyone for listening. If after you pick it up, if you want to email us or tweet at us, you can do so at columbuscomicscorner@gmail.com and on Twitter at comicscornerpod. We'd love to hear what you guys thought of this issue as well. But yeah, thanks again for listening, and we will... I should probably plug our other stuff, huh? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Now it's time.
If you like X-Men comic books, we have an X-Men Monday podcast, which is on the feed as well, where you're finding this. We have a new Comic Book Day podcast, which comes out every 2 weeks. So that one will actually be coming out next week. But yeah, we got all kinds of stuff on the feed. So if this is your first time listening to us, thank you, and come back if you dig it.